to work against that deposit for a period of time, right? So that's how they get paid, right? They get paid per hour. Real estate attorneys normally get paid by the transaction. So it's usually a flat amount. You understand? So usually when they say $450, that's what it is for the entire transaction, barring a problem. You understand? So that's how that works. That's how they, that's how they get compensated. So these are the kinds of things you think about. So understand this. You got into a car accident, right? Your attorney did a slamming job, right? Wonderful. Right? And now you want to buy a house. You're looking for an attorney. Who are you going to go to? Same guy. Right? That makes sense, right? Because that's the attorney you know. You know you need an attorney, so you got a good relationship with them. And that's what most people do. They go right back to the person that they think knows it all. Is an attorney. But he's never done a real estate transaction before. How do you think he's going to charge you? Hourly. Right. You're going to pay through the nose. But that's not what he does. He's going to try to do it. He's not going to turn that money away, right? He's going to do that job, and he's going to charge you hourly. And you're going to pay a lot more than you would have ever paid to go to a real estate attorney. Right, Matt? That's kind of scary. Right, Therese? Attorney Therese?
Yeah.
Esquire, right? That's how that goes down. So, interview your attorney. That's all of that stuff was just to say interview your attorney. Now, go ahead.
One thing I've wondered is when you buy a house, is there anything you can do to kind of inspect it or what?
That was.
Is there any way to guarantee?
Come on. Why don't you just give them
I don't know that much.
You're just reading my mind, because that's exactly where I was going next.
Okay.
It's not scary. So, why don't you tell me more, Dan? When do you think that happens? What part of the process does that happen?
Before you sign.
I'm glad you got it wrong. You were really starting to scare me.
It's after?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But wouldn't you want to do it before you buy a house? Because
No.
you know if it was any good.
Why wouldn't you want to do it before you buy a house? Why wouldn't you want to do it before you sign? Think about that. I see Matt thinking. I see him thinking. He has a thinking face on it. Why would you want to sign the contract before you do the inspection? Do inspectors cost money?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna do it for free, right? So why would you wait for the contract to be signed before you actually do the inspection?
Well, I guess if the person who sold it to you promised that some stuff was working, then you could have them fix it. Perfect.
Yeah, right. But why are you signing the contract first before you actually do the inspection?
So it's worth it?
Well, yeah, on one level, right? The reason you're doing that is because if you don't have a signed contract, you can inspect it all day long. You don't have a deal. So you just inspected the property, but now I go and sell it to Lily or to Shanae, you're going to be very upset. Inspectors aren't cheap, right? Because what do inspectors do when they go to your house? Or when you go to your prospective house? What do they do?
Criticize.
There's a microphone somewhere.
Criticize.
Criticize it? Is that what they do? They go in this house, look at this mess. They need to clean out this microwave. What the heck is wrong with these people? What's the deal with that bleach on the carpet? Right? Determine the value?
Don't they look at the foundation and tell if it needs repairs or things like that, or if it's infested with termites, for example?
Right. Right? The inspector goes in, he checks not only the foundation, right, the structural integrity of the building, but he checks also the mechanicals. And what are the mechanicals? There you go. Right. Absolutely. So he checks the integrity of the house, the mechanicals and the structure, right? That's what his job is. And then, like you said, he starts criticizing. Right? Look at those termites. Look at all these problems. Now, should you have an inspection?
Yes.
Absolutely. Why would you not? I mean, $250, $400, $500 thing. I don't think
to walk away even after you sign the agreement, if it's just really bad? Or?
Answer my feelings. But yes, absolutely.
Okay, so it's usually in the rental agreement or in
In the
the
contract.
contract that.
So the contract has what you call an inspection contingency. That means you sign the contract, you bound that person, you put down your little deposit, not the whole 20%.
Mhm.
You don't have to put down the 20% in your deposit. Your 20%, the rest of the 20% you can bring at the day of closing. You don't want them holding on to all your money. You just put down enough for them to hold the property, right? Enter into a contract. There's usually a contingency, what they call an inspection contingency. It's usually somewhere from 7 to 10 days. It gives you 7 to 10 days, bring your own professional to come in, look at the property, and determine whether or not there's anything wrong. And if it's not what you thought it was going to be, or if it doesn't have structural integrity, what can you do at that point? Walk away. Or, right? Got it, Max?
So with these people who inspect, you're paying them like a fixed fee.
Yeah.
So what incentive do they have to do a better job as opposed to like a not so good job?
Better job as a gospel? What do you mean?
Like, you know, so like, no matter like, if there's, just say there's an issue with the house, right? And it's like not obvious, so they can, you know, like really like do a good job and inspect it and find it. Or just kind of like, you know, they didn't see it because they didn't try as hard as they could, because they're making the same amount of money either way. You know what I mean? So is that like an issue, or?
Absolutely it's an issue, right? But what can you do with that inspector before you hire him? Interview, right? Or you could talk to other people about it. Or you could do something that a lot of people don't think about doing, and I hadn't thought about it in a long time. You can call the Chamber of Commerce, right? Or the Better Business Bureau, see if they have any reports or complaints against them, right? These are things you can do to make sure you got someone that has integrity inspecting your home. But they're there for you. You're hiring them, not the seller normally, right? So you hire the inspector. His job is to go out and sniff out the problems and identify those problems for you so that you can make an informed decision about whether or not you want to purchase this home. And then after that, you can make one or two decisions. You can walk away, right? Or you can ask if they will make the repairs. If they agree to make the repairs, then you're going to enter into something called an addendum to the contract that says they're going to make X repairs by some professionally licensed individual that does whatever kind of work it is you need to get done, right? If they say no to the repair, then what happens? Deal's dead. Got it?
How long, so actually the house I grew up in, it was sold to us from the housing company.
Say that again.
It was sold to us from the housing company, and they actually, the foundation was bad, that the house actually started to sink, and at one point I could basically roll marble from one room to the other, and they
It's probably bad.
basically fixed it. At what point after this agreement is signed, the sellers, how liable are they for stuff that happens afterwards? Is
After the sale of the house?
it, yeah.
After the
Like,
deal is
like
done?
the foundation goes bad.
After the fact?
Yeah.
That's a great question, Dan. I'm surprised Deirdre didn't ask that one. Because Deirdre's usually good at those kinds of questions. But there will be SOL.
What?
You know what that means, Matt? Never heard of SOL? Save our ship or something like that? SOL. Shit out of luck. Right? Because she said I could swear. So the bottom line is, when you sign that contract, right, when you bring your inspector in, usually there's a part in the contract that says, I've inspected this property. I'm aware of the situation of the property, and I'm accepting it as it is. Especially if the contract says right on the face of it, as is. You ever seen that? So you've had an opportunity to inspect. Now, unless the seller hid something from you or lied to you about something,